Hello, and welcome to the Loveology podcast, where we talk about love and life with laughter. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Jason.
He's the carefree one.
She's the serious one.
And we're married.
We have been since 2012, and we like to think of ourselves as a couple of loveologists.
Not because we are the experts, but because we just love love.
We enjoy studying and talking about it, so we thought, let's just start a podcast.
A place where we can share what we have learned about love, relationships, and marriage.
You can share what you've learned, and we can all grow together.
So here we are. Are you ready?
Let's get started. What's up, everybody out there in podcast world? How are y'all doing? Thank y'all for joining us yet again, my friends. Have my lovely, wonderful, beautiful, amazing, smart, intelligent, great, awesome co-host, my wife, Ashley. What's up, boo?
What's wrong with you?
This is what it is, man. When I got the flow, I give it to you. I flow it out.
Thank you for all my words of affirmation.
Yes, man. Yes, that's what it is. How y'all doing, man? Another day.
Yes, another day. We are here.
You enjoy your beach day yesterday?
Yeah, y'all. We kind of ventured out to the beach yesterday.
Yeah.
I enjoyed myself. Our kids enjoyed themselves, and we had a good time. We stayed social distancing.
Social distancing, yes. You know, everybody is well more than 10, 15 feet apart.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The beaches are very large and oceans is very large. So, you know, I guess the only concern is if somebody sneezes upwind and it blows downwind, that can probably...
Right. I guess it'll go up your nostrils.
Get a hold of somebody. That's why you should wear a mask, I guess.
Yeah.
But people wouldn't wear masks. So,
but, you know, it is safer to be outside, though.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I think it's calming, you know what I'm saying, relaxing. It's therapeutic, you know, the salt water in the ocean and the sun, all that good stuff is great, you know?
Yeah, you need it.
Yeah. So, you know, the kids enjoy themselves. Everybody enjoy themselves. So, man, yeah. Get outside, get you some sun, and listen to Loveology. How about that?
Yeah, put those earbuds in and go ahead and...
Go walk around the block.
Yeah.
All right, baby girl. We got another great topic today.
Yes,
right?
I'm very excited about this.
Why are you excited about it?
Because I read a book, you guys, or I listened to a book. And
you downloaded the information,
yes.
Whether it's through reading or watching TV.
Yeah, but it's just stick with me a little bit better with when I read something instead of listening to it. But anyways, but you know, time crunch, you know, I have to listen to these books. That's how I'll be doing this, you guys. You got to listen to it,
right? And it's
out.
better if you can really soak it in if you can listen to it and read it at the same time.
Well,
that's what I got to do.
Well, I kind of go back. Like I have both. I have an audio book and I have the book. So I kind of, when I'm preparing for the episode, I go to the book and actually, you know, look at the words and prepare that way. Right.
Okay.
So I'm excited. I didn't know anything about this book. However, there was a few weeks ago, we had a wonderful couple on the show, Yana and Cordell.
What up?
Check that episode out. I can't remember the number right now, but it was called The Importance of Support. And during that episode, they mentioned that they read...
And I just wanted to give a shout out to Yana's podcast, Melanated Conversations. So check her out as well.
Whoop, whoop. Yep.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Give a little shout out for that. She was, her and her cousin podcast have been on the charts for a while and made it to #1. So go check them out. Melanated Conversation.
Absolutely. So while we were having our conversation, they mentioned that they read this book called His Needs, Her Needs. And they said it was just very transformative for their relationship. Right. So I was like, oh yeah, I got to read this book. I got to tell our audience members about that. So that is what is happening right now.
Yes.
I read the book, His Needs, Her Needs. And it is an internationally best-selling book written by Willard F. Harley Jr.
Okay.
Ph.D.
All
right. He says that the purpose of the book is to discover and to learn to meet each other's most important emotional needs as a couple.
Okay.
Right? So you ready for this?
Let's dive in.
I think this is super important.
Well, come on with it.
Jason's like, okay, don't leave me hanging. So I did want to mention that you can definitely, you should definitely read the book. However, he does give a lot of good information on his Marriage Builders website. So it's called www.marriagebuilders.com. Go check that website out. He gives a lot of good information.
Marriage Builder or Builders with an S?
Builders with an S. Okay. Marriage Builders. Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
Let's go. Come on.
I know you like. I gotta.
I'm ready,
Ashley. Okay, so the first thing that we need to talk about is this concept that he has. It's called the love bank.
Okay.
So the concept is to help couples understand how people fall in and out of love. Okay. So within us, apparently, this is, something he just made up, right?
Metaphorically.
But yes.
We have a piggy bank.
Right. We have a love bank that keeps track of the way each person treats us. Mm-hmm. And everyone has an account, and the things that they do either deposits or withdraw love units from your account. Right. So when you associate someone with good feelings, deposits are made into the person's account in your love bank. So you feel good about me because I make all sorts of love deposits to you.
For sure.
But however, if you aren't making deposits and you're just making withdrawals, then I am going to start to feel differently about, our relationship, and I'm going to become unhappy.
I'm going to feel used up.
Yeah.
Till you use me up. Doom, 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 doom.
Yeah. And then whenever I feel badly, then I'm going to start making withdrawals. Like I'm not going to be.
You're going to be using too.
Yeah, I'm not.
Because you're trying to get a benefit out of it.
Right. And I'm not feeling in the mood to make deposits.
Right.
Because I'm not getting any deposits.
Correct.
So I'm not full.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
So that's the basic thing. So now we're going to go into, what he considers the most important emotional needs. So of course, everyone has all different sorts of needs, but these are the ones that he has identified as the most important, right?
Well, how can you decide what's something a need or a want in a relationship?
He's calling it a need. Okay. And he said that he interviewed hundreds of couples to try to figure out why people were not staying in love and why people were unhappy. He's a marriage counselor.
Yeah.
So he's seen lots of clients, like you said, interviewed hundreds of people, and he's calling it a need because if these things are not met, most of the time people are going to go try to find it someplace else.
Oh, wow.
Because actually the full title of his book is
that makes sense because a need is something that you just have to have.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, if you're not getting it from your mate, then your mate is going to get it from somewhere.
Yeah.
So you listen. Look, y'all need to listen to this. Listen to this. If you're zoning out, snap it back. If you don't pay attention to their needs, they will get their needs from somebody else or somewhere else other than you.
Yeah.
So here's the needs.
And I think that's why he's calling it a need for sure, because it's like it doesn't matter how devout they are and, just serious about relationships or serious about their marriage. Somehow, if these certain things aren't being met, it's just
no matter how much money you shower them with, no matter how much whatever, you know what I'm saying? If you don't knock out these leads or needs, if you don't give them these needs, then they're gonna get it from somebody else.
Right. So like I said, the full title of his book is His Needs, Her Needs: Building an Affair-Proof Marriage. So
loveologists out here, we're loveologists, right? So we're studying love, right? When you used to study at school, some of us are still in school, shout out to you guys, you did a lot of writing stuff down and reading and all that good stuff. So I advise you to take copious notes, get you a pen and paper, get your notebook, and just put loveology on it, because we're studying love together. Right? So let's take some notes on this, because I think this will be transformative to you and your relationship, whether your relationship is in the present or your relationship will be in the future. So take some notes, please, please, please. And If you don't mind, go ahead and share this episode with other people while you're listening right now, because this is going to be a good one. Let's go.
Yeah. So again, the way for couples to stay in love is that you must meet each other's most emotional needs. Okay. This is what it boils down to. So what is an emotional need? It is a craving that, when satisfied, leaves you with a feeling of happiness and contentment, and when unsatisfied, leaves you with the feeling of unhappiness and frustration.
Awesome. Let's go.
So he says that, back when you were dating, it probably wasn't that hard to fulfill needs because you were so motivated to make the other person happy. Mm-hmm. But, as life goes on and life gets a little bit harder.
Or some people was getting their needs met by multiple people.
When you were dating?
Yeah.
Well, I hope not.
I mean, who said you was exclusively dating?
Well, when you decided to become a couple, boyfriend and girlfriend.
Okay, that's boyfriend and girlfriend.
So basically,
say
if you
dating.
made it to marriage, you were getting your needs met, Jason.
Correct.
Right.
But because y'all trying y'all best to get that ring on y'all finger.
Well, and y'all trying their best to get the cookie, I guess.
Well, we can get the cookie without the ring.
So what made you want to marry me?
Well, because I think bigger than the cookie.
But you want to get the cookie for long term.
Yeah, you want that. Want that in-house is what you'll call it.
Okay. Okay, so basically, here we are. We're learning about the needs, okay? There's a quiz on his website that Jason and I have not taken yet, but we will take before the next episode. It's called the Emotional Need Questionnaire. Mm-hmm. You definitely want to do this activity to learn what your primary needs are. So this is kind of similar to the 5 love languages, mm-hmm. right? In this way of like understanding that you need to do the need that your partner needs the
Correct.
most. So this is where it comes back to this his need, her need, mm-hmm. because you're likely not to prioritize the same needs in the same order of importance.
Correct.
Okay, so this is something that I read from his website. It says a highly important need for you may not be as important to your spouse, so you may find yourself trying to meet the needs that seem unimportant to you, but your spouse depends on you to meet those needs. And it's the most effective and efficient way for you to make large love bank deposits. Mm-hmm. Again, like 5 love languages. A lot of times, like Jason's love language is words of affirmation and physical touch. Mine is like,
work. She want me to work for her. That's what she want me to do. Work all day and all night.
Yeah. Mine is acts of service. That's not what I want, you guys. I'm ignoring him, but mine is acts of service, which is why he's saying that, and quality time. Those are my 2 primary. So, and my least favorite ways to receive love is words of affirmation and a physical touch. I still want it that way. Right. But this point that I'm trying to make is that we're flopped. Like my least is his most and his most is my least. Right. So, he gives words of affirmation and physical touch very easily. Right. And I have to really work at doing that for him because that's just not the way that I receive it as like, that's not my primary. Like I said, of course I want that, but that's not the primary way. So it's basically the same concept. If you're familiar with that, this is the same concept.
And, just to kind of throw just a quick one in there, when I was in the military, and I know you can kind of relate to this in anybody with a job, right? You have a particular duty that you do. Right. Mm-hmm. And so I was a loadmaster, C-130 loadmaster. Shout out to all my C-130 loadmasters out there.
He always got to throw that in there. Go ahead.
We work hard, man. You know what I'm saying? And look good doing it. But I had a particular job, right? My job wasn't to fly the plane, right? My job wasn't to fly the plane. My job was to effectively, make sure the load that is coming on is weighted and properly distributed throughout the aircraft so it can be within the center of gravity level. Because if it's too far in the front, it's too heavy in the front, it's going to be top heavy. The plane won't be able to fly properly, right? So with that being said, my job it is an important job for me, right? It's an important job for me because it's my job. But think about the pilot. That job is not important to them because their job is to make sure the plane flies, right? They gotta handle the controls and all this good stuff. But the whole mission, the whole job, both our jobs together, we have to complete this mission. That's taking off, getting this particular load to this particular place in a timely fashion, right? Mm-hmm. So if what we're doing, we're working our jobs together, our needs together to reach this common goal. That's the same in relationships. So you have certain needs that you do or that you need, right? And I have certain needs that I need, right? But when we put them together, it helps the mission, the overall mission of the relationship become more successful, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Yeah. So the most important emotional needs, they make the largest love bank deposits. Again, the primary way. So it's like you just deposited $5 instead of a dime. So, when Jason, gives me a hug, he gave me a love bank deposit.
But it ain't worth nothing to her.
It is. It is worth a lot. Okay. It's just not as worth as much as
me slaving, scrubbing the particles off the floor on my hands and knees.
That's not true, you guys. So here's the thing. Here is why he called it his needs, her needs. Okay. He says, whenever I ask couples to list their needs according to what they needed most, men would list them one way and women the opposite way. Of the 10 emotional needs, the 5 listed as most important by men were usually the 5 least important for women and vice versa. So like what I just said. So he had people, men and women, taking a test, right? A questionnaire. And on average, there was 5 that came to the top of the men list. And those 5 were on average, the 5 least most important to the woman. Totally flipped, right?
Well, we different. You got boobs and we don't. So, this is part of it. We are different people.
Okay. So basically, here's what people are doing, right? They are willing to do for each other what they appreciate the most.
Right.
But it turns out that their efforts are misdirected. What they appreciate the most, their spouses appreciate the least.
Right.
So, okay. So like I said, the example of love languages, right?
Right.
Okay. So here's a disclaimer that he's giving. Okay. Everyone is unique. While men on average pick a particular set of 5 emotional needs as their most important, and women on average pick another set of 5, any given man or woman can and do pick various combinations of the 10. So even though I know the most important emotional needs for the average man and woman, I don't know the emotional needs for any particular husband or wife. So he encourages each couple to ignore what I say about the average male and female needs and identify those that are unique to them. That way, each spouse's list of the most important emotional needs reflects what he or she appreciates the most. When they meet those needs for each other, they create the greatest happiness and trigger a mutual feeling of love. So I'm reading this because I read some of the reviews of this book before I read it, and some of the criticisms were that this book was too gendered, by him saying his needs, her needs, like all men have this need, right? And all women have this need. He's just saying that's not what he's saying. He's saying on average this is what he has seen to be true.
Right.
But everybody should take the questionnaire and identify your needs.
Right. Get specific. He don't know you. So therefore he can't specifically tell you what your needs are.
Right.
Take the test so you can find out.
Yes. So everybody can take it. Don't be discouraged or, taken aback because he uses these words. But personally, in my experience with men and women, I feel like this is pretty accurate, Yeah. But of course, understanding that everyone is unique, of course.
Correct.
But in general, hey, I feel like it's right on par. Okay.
Right.
So y'all ready to hear what the needs are?
Yes, please.
Jason's like, I've been waiting all day for this.
Yes.
Well, actually, I wanted to say something else.
Come on with it, man.
But one of the other things that I really like about this book is that he gives like specific examples of how his clients kind of slipped into affairs because their emotional need wasn't being met. And I
like how you say slipped into affairs.
Well, that's kind of what happens. Because
Okay.
people just aren't conscious. Like if they didn't read this book, maybe they just really aren't conscious of why they find themselves talking to another person. And we talked about this in the last 2 previous episodes, Friends of the Opposite Sex, where we were talking about some of the things, boundaries that maybe you should have in place so you don't find your way in, an extramarital affair. So I wanted to read another thing that he said from his book, because I want to prove Jason. Well, I guess I'm not proving him wrong, but he was talking about how affairs usually start.
So basically, there's proof, scientific proof, that sometimes, again, I said sometimes, when a man go out and cheat, it might not be all the way his fault. Might be the mate's fault, the woman.
It's possible.
Okay.
It's possible. I mean, I think it's both people's fault for sure. Because I don't think you ever have an excuse to do it. You need to talk to your partner if you having problems with something.
Right.
Because like it says, some of the examples that he gave in this book were, the man didn't communicate how he was feeling to his wife.
Right.
And that is a problem.
Right.
He just goes out and does it. And maybe if he would communicate, then it can be fixed.
And I think a lot of times men do communicate, but like I said, sometimes whatever. But I think they do. It's just sometimes it may not be received well because maybe it's through yelling or, maybe, anger. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard to receive a message if it's coming from a place of anger, right? So I just kind of wanted to, highlight that yeah, sometimes it can be the woman's fault while the man cheat.
I just don't know.
You don't like to say that, huh?
No, I don't think that's right.
Okay, but I'm just saying I don't think it's right that in which me and my wife, we have a great relationship and never stepped out, never thought about it. But I'm just saying when it does happen, when the man does step out, it seems like that he gets 99% of the rage because it's all him. It's you.
Oh my gosh. So it's both people.
Okay.
I really don't think all the fault can be put on one person. Could they have a lot to do with it?
Right.
Yes, but I don't think you can just say that. And I think I'm getting this too because he talks about the love bank thing. So maybe, why, so let's just take
it shouldn't 100% fall on the man, that's all I'm saying. Or anybody. It shouldn't. If somebody steps out, I don't think it should 100% fall on the person all the time. Sometimes they can.
Sometimes
it can, yes. But not all the time. You got to really evaluate what's going on before you can just put it all on him or her.
But you just said, well, it's her fault. And I don't think that it's ever.
No, it's not 100%. So, yeah, I'm sorry. I misspoke.
Yes.
So, yes, it's not always. All I'm saying is that it's she whoever the one that got cheated on may have some stake in that reason why it happened.
Yes.
So it may be 10%, but just because he got 90% of the blame doesn't mean that you can't work on your 10%.
Yes, I agree.
That's all I'm saying.
All right. Okay, so we had a discussion last episode about how affairs start. And I said most of them start, with friends, which is why some people may have a problem with having friends of the opposite sex. And, the good doctor Harley says, an affair usually begins as a friendship. Now, I don't know if this is like stuff that he has studied statistically or just in his experience of being a counselor, but I'm basically saying that I definitely agree with this, right? Like an affair usually begins with a friendship, and that's why it's important to have, boundaries put in place because it can easily slip into that if you cross boundaries. Yeah. I think so. And you're not getting your needs met at home. Right. So he says, your spouse may know the person who eventually becomes your lover as the husband or wife in a couple you consider best friends. So kind of like these couples, or your lover may be someone you have met at work, church, or a community function.
Yeah, it's funny because people always say, well, it's a lot of people who was talking about the last topic of is it okay to have friends of the opposite sex? And then some people would say, yeah, it's cool long as we all friends. And it's like that don't mean nothing.
That don't mean nothing. That your husband can be over there talking to that friend,
right?
Female
that you
friend.
Cool with.
Yes. While y'all at y'all mutual gatherings, and he liking her the whole. He Correct. Just still developing feelings for her. Correct. Right. So it can happen there too.
So it ain't about what it's really, in my eyes, it's not about who you're friends with or who they are around, kind of. You know what I'm saying? It's more so how are you handling your home? What you doing inside of your home?
Yeah, and I mean that's basically like the purpose of this book too. Is just to say, let's just create a happy marriage. Let's get both of our needs met. And more than likely, you're not going to, go outside of it.
And this is not 100%.
Right,
clearly,
of course.
Right? Mm-hmm. But if you do what you're supposed to do and they still step out, then it's like, well, I did what I was supposed to do. Mm-hmm. But how do you know if you did what you're supposed to do?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So continuing on with this excerpt, it says, conversation draws you together. At first, you talk about various topics of interest, but over time, you begin to share personal problems with each other. As you spend more time together, you discuss more intimate problems, and eventually the problems you discuss reflect unmet emotional needs. As your friendships deepen, you start giving each other mutual support and encouragement, especially in regard to your unmet needs. Life is difficult. Many people become extremely disillusioned about the way their lives are turning out. When they find someone encouraging and supportive, the attraction toward that person acts as a powerful magnet. Sooner or later, you'll find yourself in bed with your encouraging and supportive friend. If it just seems to happen, you don't intend to do it, and neither does your friend. Very often, the friendship that grows into an affair is very illogical. A wife will look at her husband's lover and exclaim, how in the world could he be interested in her? When a husband discovers his wife's lover, he wonders, what could she be thinking? But the attraction is not logical. It's emotional. We got to get these emotional needs met. Okay, so what are they? Y'all ready? I'm about to tell y'all now.
Please come on with these. Come on. She's finally going to tell us the needs.
But do you understand all the importance of
No, I get it. I'm just saying.
Okay, great. All right. So here they are. Affection.
Okay.
Sexual fulfillment.
Okay.
Intimate conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Recreational companionship.
Mm-hmm.
Honesty and openness.
Mm-hmm.
Physical attractiveness.
Mm-hmm.
Financial support.
Mm-hmm.
Domestic support.
Mm-hmm.
Family commitment and admiration.
Okay.
Can you pick out the ones that you think that are the her needs and which ones are the he needs on the 5 top ones?
No, I'm not, because I can't even remember all the ones you just said. Like, you just rattled off a whole bunch.
I want to see.
Let's play a game. Okay, so yeah.
I'll tell you one by one.
Yeah, and I got that all day.
Affection,
that's women and men, actually.
Okay, sexual fulfillment,
men.
Intimate conversation,
women and men. A lot of this stuff, women and men, but
right.
But
which one do you
more
think
towards men?
Yes, which one do you think is higher on the woman's list?
Okay,
because we need all of it. Okay, but which one is higher of the most? On her list. Okay,
so yeah, affection high on the list. Okay, great.
Intimate conversation,
women high on her list.
Recreational companionship,
that's men.
Honesty and openness,
women.
Physical attractiveness,
it's probably gonna be men. Maybe, yeah, men.
Financial support,
that's probably gonna be women.
Domestic support,
that sound like a woman. You want me to clean the walls? See, that's all that.
Family commitment.
Oh, family commitment. Yes, that's a woman.
Admiration.
I think that's just a man. I don't know.
Yeah, you pretty much got them all right, except for domestic support. That's something that men put high.
But maybe I don't even know what it is.
Yeah, that's probably just
because it sounds like domestic support, domestic housewife. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay.
So you want a domestic housewife, right? I asked you the other day, would you prefer sex? If I said I wasn't cleaning anymore, but we can have sex every day, which one would you?
Yeah, definitely. I can hold off.
What? you need the domestic support.
Yeah, I'd rather have that. I'd rather have yeah.
So that's what it's saying. Like, most men want someone who is somewhat domestic.
Oh yeah.
The average man.
Yeah.
Who, like, if I said that I'm not cleaning at all, you would have a problem with that, or not cooking.
Yeah, we got to have a chef then. That's fine if we got the money to have a chef.
Okay, so you don't care if I clean or cook.
Not you personally, long as it's done.
Long as it gets done.
No, that's my need. If you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't.
But what about you doing it? Why we gotta hire somebody else? You do it.
Because I don't want to do it. I don't want to.
Okay. All right. Okay, so great. So you guys, we're going to take a dive into affection, which is the woman's first need, right? And the rest of the emotional needs we'll talk about in later episodes. So make sure you come back.
Come back.
Especially for the sexual fulfillment one.
Yes. Yes.
That's going to be a very important topic, okay?
And y'all got, like I said, please take the test after you listen to this.
Yeah.
Because on Wednesday, we're going to have a live discussion. I'm going to ask you, hey, what are you guys' needs?
Yes. The top emotional needs.
And we're going to talk about it.
Right. Okay.
All right.
So,
sorry. Wednesday, 9 o'clock Pacific. 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central, 6 o'clock Pacific. Right. And it's going to be on Facebook Live. Right. So just go to loveologypodcast.com. Make sure you like our page. We're growing with followers and everything. Shout out to all the African countries, Ghana, South America, Kenya, all that. Shout out to Mexico, Canada, the UK. Hopefully I got you, but y'all was on the top chart. So I appreciate y'all. Keep spreading the love, y'all.
Yeah. Mexico was our newbie relationship chart. So yay for that. Okay.
Appreciate it.
So affection, the first thing that she can't do without is affection. And he describes it as the expression of care. When one spouse is affectionate toward the other, the following messages are sent. You are important to me. I will care for you and protect you. I'm concerned about the problems you face and will be there for you when you need me. So what's some examples of affection? I'm about to call you Isaiah, our baby name. Go ahead. What's some examples of affection? Jason, you should know Jason is very, very affectionate.
Rubbing on you, I guess.
So that is very interesting that you just said that. And we're going to talk about that in a second. What else? What are some other examples?
Just, making sure you're good, checking on you.
Hugs, kisses.
That's rubbing on you, same thing.
No, hug and rubbing on me is not the same thing.
Yeah, that's a rub.
But
right?
Kisses, flowers. Jason is very affectionate, okay? Hand holding. What else do you do? Going for walks. Okay.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. Men sometimes confuse affection with sex. This is not the same.
That's the pregame to sex. We get affectionate so we can have sex.
Well, you're a smart man. Okay. But there's also a way to be affectionate. Okay.
Yeah. Teach me, oh great wise one.
So he was saying that this is the problem. So, sometimes we just want the affection to feel loved and not feel the sexual part.
So y'all feel like it's almost like you just doing this because you want something.
Yeah. Like you just want me. You don't care about me. You just want to have sex with me. That's it.
Yeah, if you love the feel of a particular car, you going fast. You know what I'm saying? You love that feel. Then guess what? You're gonna care about the car.
Okay, so let's give an example. Okay, well, the author encourages men to learn sexless affection. Mm-hmm. So sometimes we said this in a previous episode. But can't you have
affection and sex at the same time?
No, sometimes we need.
Why not?
Because.
I can rub on you while we, hey, baby. That's affection and love. We meeting both our needs at the same time.
But we have a greater need to feel affection than to feel sex.
But I'm saying you can feel the sex and you can feel me rubbing your arm at the same time.
Are you listening to me?
I'm just saying that's affection.
So
too. Go ahead. I'm just joking. Go ahead.
Well, you talked about this in another episode. I think it was like what women want men to know. Yeah. And I said, sometimes we just want to cuddle. But you guys, once y'all start touching and rubbing, y'all can get y'all ready for sex so easily. And we're not ready yet. And we just really want, sometimes we just want to be held. We don't want to have sex. We just want to feel taken care of and held. Yeah. That's it. Right. Without the sex.
Right.
No, we're not saying that we don't want sex ever, right. But sometimes we just need the hugs, the kisses, and not the sex
what
part
about
of it.
After sex, you get the hugs and the kisses. Like right after, we can do that.
But yes, like, okay, tapping on the butt, maybe you may see that as affectionate, but that's like a sexual thing though, actually. So while I find that cute, right, and funny, but I don't want to for you to be doing that only. You give me a lot of hugs, you give me a lot of kisses. That's not sex related. Now maybe you just warming me up all day, which I did read somewhere that's good, right? Like you just, but basically this is what this author is saying, that if you want your woman to want to have sex, you have to learn how this sexless affectionate thing.
All right, guys. So let's I'm telling y'all, get y'all notes out, man. Y'all missing some nuggets. So it's a difference, guys. This is not pre-game sex. This is affection. It's a totally different category.
Yes.
So let's take away pre-game sex to affection.
Well, because if you understand that actually this will help her want to have sex more. Right. But you have
it is pre-game sex.
I mean, I guess.
But it's not pre-game sex. See, now we're diving in the mind of a woman. It's very confusing, very dark. Some light spots. You just don't know what's going to happen on each turn, but you just got to keep going.
Yeah.
All right.
He basically says
let's dive into a woman's mind.
Yeah. There's no real sex without affection. Okay. Basically. So just try. Jason's just like, he's so confused, but you do it. You do it because we realize.
Just tell me what to do.
Well, because sometimes
give me a list of things to do, and I'm gonna do it.
Jason, we realize that some couples actually don't kiss each other goodbye when they're going to work, and they don't kiss each other in the morning. You know what I mean? So I get that affection.
That's affection.
Yeah, that's affection. Okay. And I take that for granted, I guess. But when I realize that some couples actually don't do that, and I say that because this was on the list of things that he said that you can do. I'm like, well, don't everybody do that? And then I also...
So you get a lot of affection from me.
You're very affectionate, yes. Okay. You are naturally very affectionionate. Okay. And sometimes it does turn into a sexual sort of affection, but...
Just might slip into it in the kitchen. Just slip into it.
But most of the time, you just want to hug, you just want to kiss, you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's not all that other stuff. But yes, plenty of times it turns into you rubbing or whispering something in my ear. I'm like, Jason, please.
That's affection too, though, right?
No, it's the sex.
It's confusing.
It's not the sexless affection. It's
we ain't doing it.
But you being sexual, though.
But we not going to do it.
Would you like a man to do that, another man to do that to me?
What you talking about?
Or
they can't give you no affection or sex.
So can another guy give me a hug?
Depends.
So this is how. Going back, so he gives an example of a woman who ended up cheating on her husband because her husband, she said, he just wanted sex from her all the time and he wasn't being affectionate. He wasn't and. She had a coworker. They started doing lunch together. He would give her a hug, a little kiss on her cheek, stuff that, a kiss on the cheek is too much.
Yeah, that's way too much.
Yeah, but you hug your female friends, basically. Yeah. So that's a sexless affection. Yeah. Now, so if a person is not
okay. So what would I do with my mama? Basically, I will hug my mama. I can kiss my mama, right? Kiss her on the cheek or her forehead or something like that. Open the door for her, and so that's affection.
Yes. Okay. That's affection.
So look at what would you do for your mama?
Well, you can hold my hand too, so you wouldn't be holding your mama's hand. You could.
Maybe. I don't know.
You wouldn't be walking holding your mother's hand. Maybe.
You know what I'm saying? What if we, we're walking and, it's, we may be hiking somewhere or something. I don't know. And there's some rocks or something. You got to hold her hand to make sure she don't lose her balance.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, okay. So that's sexless affection, right? And so with this situation with this woman, she had this friend who was doing all this affection, and then she ended up sleeping with them because this was such an unmet need of hers that,
I need to see some other, you got a list of affectionate things?
Yeah.
Give me these affectionate things for my fellow men.
Okay.
And my fellow women that don't know what affection is.
Well, he says a lot of men struggle with this. So, this is a good point, Jason.
Apparently so.
Let me find the list. So this was a list that a woman, one of his clients created for her husband. Okay. So this is just one woman.
One list.
Okay. She said, hug and kiss me every morning while we're still in bed. Talk.
Kind of hard to hug you while you're in bed.
We hug each other, Jason.
One arm hug.
Talk with me and tell me that you care about me while we're having breakfast together. Hug and kiss me before you leave for work. So this is something that she put on her list. So apparently this wasn't happening.
Right.
I'm
Or
just
maybe
like,
it was happening. He just want to make sure
he keeps doing it.
going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Call me during the day to see how I'm doing and to tell me you care about me. After work, call me before you leave for home so that I can know when to expect you. When you arrive from work, give me a hug and a kiss and spend a few minutes talking to me about how my day went. I'll talk to you about how your day went too.
Right.
Help me with the dishes after dinner. And this is turned into, I don't know, this is...
Is that affection?
I guess so. Hug and kiss me for at least 5 minutes when we go to bed at night.
5 minutes?
That's a long time.
So you know what I'm saying? You doing all that, you might as well have sex.
So maybe men, all you need to do, if your wife is telling you that all you want from her is sex and she wants affection and you're not giving it to her, ask her. Because every woman is different.
Right.
So ask her, or men, right? Because I'm not very affectionate. I give Jason affection, but he is the most affectionate one out of the two of us.
Yeah, I don't really need affection, I guess.
But you just love to give me affection.
I guess.
It's the sex part, I think. So just do this exercise. Say, okay, my lovely wife, could you please write down a list of things
That's it.
that you would like for me to do?
Let me tell you, hold on, let me pause. Pause right now. Listen here. Men are simple. Men are easy. Just tell us what to do and we'll do it. Right? Or we'll talk about it. You know what I'm saying? If we don't mind it, then that's what we're gonna do. It's okay that you have to tell them what you want. It's okay. Because once he gets what you want, then he can make it his own. Then he can probably branch off and do some other things that you didn't think about. He can use his creativity. But give him a starting point. He can't figure that out on your own. He can't read your mind, right? I can't read it because it's crazy in there. We already
Stop calling us crazy.
No, I'm just saying it's crazy in there, right? So we already kind of drift off into the mind of a woman. So just tell us what to do. Just tell us, write it down. I promise you, it'll work.
Yeah,
it's that simple. So bad. I need you to write me a list down.
I mean, you're good.
But I want to write it down. Can I keep track of myself?
I can't even think of anything else that I would want you to do.
Just write down the things that you like.
do.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That you like.
I can try to do that on a daily basis.
Oh, very sweet. You do it all. You do it very naturally. But
I want to make sure I do it.
You always do. But I will write
Not always. Not every day I ask you, how was your day?
I mean, you give me a hug and a kiss every day.
Okay.
Multiple times a day.
Is that enough?
I guess so.
Write it down. Don't fall for that trap, fellas. Get it down on paper. Get it down on paper. And say, when she get to tripping about, you don't give me no affection.
I mean, Jason,
then you gonna go to this piece of paper and said, nope, I gave you this today. I gave you this, and I gave you some bonus affection things. So what are you talking about?
But Jason, you are super affectionate. So like, you give me like too much affection. Maybe that's what I should write. It's just like, get off of me. He's always hugging me, stopping me, giving me a hug and kissing me. You're very affectionate. So I feel full of affection. I don't feel, at all. Like I said, if anything, just slow it down. How about that? Because I can't do nothing around here because you're just so affectionate. But another one that you do that I don't want you to stop doing is
mind of a woman.
Bring me flowers. Bring me flowers once in a while as a surprise. And then she says, be sure to include a card that expresses your care for me. I don't need a card. I don't like cards. Right. I mean, it's not that I don't like cards. It's just that they're going to start to pile up. You can just bring me the flowers. Right. I know you care about me. You thought about me. You brought me the flowers. I don't need the additional card on top of that. But for her, she wants a card. So fella, whoever, if that's what your woman wants, just do it, you know? So,
and if you don't have money, man, you can go pick you some.
I mean, listen. Yes.
It's the thought that counts, right? That's the mind of a woman.
Well,
that's right.
All flowers are picked out of the ground. So, like, if you happen to walk past, like, some gorgeous flowers or something, sure, pick them. You know what I mean?
About some dandelion.
No, not dandelions.
Well, you don't like dandelion?
I like to blow them outside, but not.
That's another part of the dandelion. I got some other cute little flowers. Anyway.
Okay, so she said she wrote also a list of affection. Is this affectionate habits to avoid? Don't tell me how attracted you are to my body when you want to express your affection. Don't touch my butt, breast, or crotch when you are being affectionate with me, especially when we are washing the dishes together.
All right, so we can't slap the booty.
No, it's not that, because I don't mind that. I actually like that. But if that's the only thing that you're doing, like every time you show me this, that's what the problem is. I think this woman probably wrote this list because he was doing that all the time. Like it was always so sexual every time he touched her. And it's like, I just want to know that you care about me.
Just rub across your shoulders.
Yeah, just give me a hug. Just give me a hug. Don't touch my booty. Don't touch my breast. Don't touch my crotch. Like, give me a hug.
What kind of hug is that?
The type of hugs that you give me all the time.
Yeah, okay. Gotta go back to affectionate. What hug would you give your mama or your friend at church? So y'all want church hugs.
I like both. I like that you give me sexual hugs, but like I said, if that was all that you were doing all the time, then I would probably have a problem with it too. I would probably feel this way. It's like you never touch me unless you're trying to get something from me.
Right.
And that's just not. Do you love me or do you just,
That's a part of you, ain't it?
Do you care about my feelings or do you just care about whether or not we have sex?
I care about all of it. That's why I make sure you good too. Did you get yours or not?
Yeah. Okay, but you make a good point, actually, Jason.
I always do. But go ahead.
God. About like, I apparently I don't know like
the mind of a woman. They don't know what they want.
What affectionate habits I want you to do, right? So the author, Dr. Harley, the woman who created this list that I was just reading from, he gave her a form to help her identify the affectionate habits that she would have liked for her husband to do. And so that form can be found in a workbook called The 5 Steps to Romantic Love. And the form is called the Affection Inventory. So like I said, he has a workbook, 5 Steps to Romantic Love. And you can find that form in your book if you just need some prompting on identifying what forms of affection is the most important to you. Okay, so that's it for today, you guys.
Cool.
The next episode, we will talk about.
Come on back, man.
Yes,
it's our turn.
We will talk about the other emotional needs.
We're gonna
starting
tell them
with
how confused they are.
Okay. Yes. Well, but starting with the very first emotional need for men, and that is sexual fulfillment.
For sure, we need it in our life. There we go. Hey, sexual fulfillment.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right, that's what we're gonna go on next. Hey man, appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. If you like what you're hearing, if you love what you're hearing, do us a solid and go ahead and share it with somebody. Just share it with a friend. You gotta share it with 10 million people. I ain't trying to put you to work, but man, just share the love. You know what I'm saying? The more you plant love out in the world, the more love that you will receive, right? Mm-hmm. So make sure you do that. And who knows, somebody might bless you with some money, somebody might bless you with a new ride, somebody might bless you with a new job, somebody might bless you with a new opportunity. But put the love out there, and that's a good way to do it is by using the Loveology Podcast, planting that seed into somebody else's life. Thank y'all so much, and we're going to catch y'all next time. Peace out.
Bye. You've been listening to the Loveology Podcast. Did you have fun with us today? Tell a friend about our show. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to keep the conversation going. Be sure to subscribe so you'll never miss an episode. Visit us at loveologypodcast.com. Thanks for listening. Until next time, Loveologists.